Good morning YouTubians, it's Kermit's Ghost. Now before I get on with the video of the day, I just want to say thank you to everybody who left a comment or will later leave a comment on the video about the passing of my pug Marley. Now he was a lovely dog. Unfortunately he developed a tumour on his hind, and although he was medicated for his condition, we felt it was starting to have a little bit of an impact on his quality of life. We consulted the vets over a number of visits and we jointly came to the conclusion that it was time to let him go. Obviously, we didn't want Marley to suffer in any way whatsoever, but it's still a very tough call to make to any animal owner. He was 16 years old and he had a very comfortable life. Now, since his passing, we've had him cremated and his ashes have been returned to us and placed inside a little mahogany box, just like his pug brother Scrooge was just a few years ago. Also wanted to say a big thank you to Lisa for sending me a Christmas ornament, which is behind me, which is related to the passing of Marley, which I will show you in just a moment. There will be a link to Lisa's channel down in the description below. Anyway, just want to say a big thank you to everybody. Now today is a Blu-ray release day and I'm about to head up to HMV. There will be a couple of weeks worth of films to talk about later. This may be the last video before Christmas. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I'm expecting a parcel from Imprint Films, but obviously I'm going to have to watch those films before I put a video together. And it may be, maybe say uploaded around about Christmas Day itself. Anyway, I'm off to grab a coffee, not a sponsor, and I will see what's out. I'll see you all up in Churchill Square in just a moment. So this is my living room at the moment full of Christmas stuff. Down here on the chest we have the cremation boxes of our two pugs, Scrooge and more recently Marley. We took the names on the Christmas Carol. I want to show you something that Lisa, Darren and their son Isaac sent us when Marley passed away. It's a Christmas ornament saying that he's crossed the rainbow bridge, which is said to be what dogs do when they shed their mortal coil. Thank you, Lisa and family. We absolutely adore it. It will be there every year on our tree. And look, there's his namesake, Marley from A Christmas Carol. Okay, so it's coffee time, and that means a Costa latte with the unbeatable Arabica beans. Now, if you're wondering why I always have a takeaway cup, yeah, it's because I hate drinking out of those glass cups or thick rimmed cups. It always makes the coffee cool down far too quickly. Aren't they a hothouse flower? Okay, about to head down the escalator to HMV. Hopefully, this will be the last time this poor excuse for a festive mall decoration will appear in my video. Fingers crossed for an actual tree next year. So here we go into HMV itself. It's nice and quiet in here this morning. So what t-shirt is on the mannequin? Well, it's the same as last week, I'm afraid. It's Bart Simpson saying, "Don't have a cow, man." Okay, quickly mention the Expendables 4 came out last week. I'll talk about that later. $14.99 for that one, no slipcover. Equalizer 3 came out last week as well, and I'll talk about that in the conclusion. Also, The Great Escaper, which came out to everybody's surprise. That's not due out actually for 8 weeks, but I'll talk about that in the conclusion. $14.99 for that one, and that came with a slipcover. So on to the new releases this week, and we have Chainsaw Man Season 1. This is about a hybrid devil-human who's recruited into a devil hunting organisation. $34.99 for this one. Next is Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. This is on the Criterion label. It's a stop animated movie about the adventures of a wooden puppet. This is priced at $22.99. Also available is the 4K version of the film, presented as a digibook, and it comes with a 33-page booklet, as did the Blu-ray. $29.99 for this version. Cobra Rebellion next. This is a political drama. This is season 3. Not a bad show. Stars Victoria Hamilton from The Crown and Robert Carlyle from Hamish Macbeth. Ooh, that's a blast from the past. This is priced at $24.99. Elegant Beast next. This is also known as Graceful Brute. It's a Japanese satirical comedy from 1962. 96-minute runtime. It's priced at $17.99 and it comes with a 12 certificate. Next is Black God, White Devil. This is limited to 3,000 copies. It's a Brazilian surreal drama from 1964 and it's going to set you back $17.99. Next is the Italian giallo horror Murder Obsession from 1981. It's about an actor who has a murderous past that is catching up with him. It's got a 97-minute runtime and it's priced at $17.99. Next is RoboDoc, the creation of RoboCop. This 2-disc, 301-minute documentary is a fan-funded feature on the 1987 sci-fi action thriller RoboCop. This is priced at $15.99. Next we have Doctor Who and the 60th anniversary specials, which features The Star Beast, Wild Blue Yonder and Giggles. This has a runtime of 3 hours and is yours for £19.99. Royal Space Force next. The standard edition, the special edition, came out in 2015, so quite a while ago. This 2-hour sci-fi animated drama is priced at $14.99. The Lost Weekend, a love story. Next, this biographical documentary tells of John Lennon's relationship with May Pang during his marriage to Yoko Ono, which happened during their 18-month separation. This is priced at $15.99. Junkhead next, the standard release. The special release came out on the 14th of August. This stop-motion animated horror has a runtime 101 minutes, carries a 15 certificate, and is priced at $14.99. Next we have The Old Oak. It's a drama from this year directed by Ken Loach. This has got a runtime 113 minutes. Apparently this came out on Friday, carries a 15 certificate, and is priced at $14.99. Next is the limited edition of Mausoleum, a supernatural horror from 1983. Now, this was classed as a video nasty and was confiscated under the Obscene Publications Act of 1959, but now you can own it for £24.99. The Miracle Club now from Lionsgate Films. This 2023 comedy drama is about four hopefuls that are seeking divine help. This is priced at $14.99 and carries a 12 certificate. Next is Dragon Ball Super Superhero, which contains both a 4K and the Blu-ray. This combo pack comes with a lenticular slipcase and is priced at £24.99. And the last of the new releases to be stocked in HMV today is the Titanic 4K release. This 3-disc set contains 2 hours of brand new bonus features and is priced at £24.99. Hey everybody, welcome back. So there you go, there's quite a few titles to get through, so let's crack on with it. Okay, first one to show you is Expendables 4. It's an action movie directed by Scott Waugh. Now his films include Act of Valor and Need for Speed, and we all know the premise of this franchise. The first Expendable movie, which came out in 2010, was Sylvester Stallone's baby. He wrote the film, directed it, starred in it, plus he actually handpicked certain actors for the roles. Those actors were mainly 80s action stars, which anybody who grew up watching these larger-than-life movie stars couldn't wait to see them on the screen together for the first time. Those stars included Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, plus many others over the franchise. But the main three actors there, which I said I personally wanted to see. Well, here we are, 4 films later and 9 years since the last Expendables movie. We see Stallone back as Barney Ross, the leader of the Expendables. He's joined by his right-hand man, Lee Christmas, who's being played by Jason Statham. Dolph Lundgren, he comes back as Gunner, who looks like Wurzel Gummidge in this for some reason. Tony and Randy Couture also return as well as new to the franchise, Curtis Jackson, aka 50 Cent, who's actually popped up in a few action flicks over the years. But we also have Megan Fox as Gina, former girlfriend of Lee Christmas. Now Megan doesn't scream action star to me, but what do I know? Anyway, story-wise, the team are sent in to stop a terrorist known as Ocelot. He has nuclear codes. Standard stuff for the team, also it seems. Ropey CGI, green screens aplenty, poorly written script, definitely the weakest of the franchise so far, which is a shame because I was really looking forward to this one. It's got a runtime of 103 minutes. Let's take a look inside. So they have an image of Sylvester Stallone's character Barney on the disc. So that was Expendables 4. Next one is Equalizer 3, directed by Antoine Fuqua, whose films include Training Day, Olympus Has Fallen, Southpaw, plus the other 2 Equalizer films in the franchise. This sees Denzel Washington return as Robert McCall. Now, just in case you're unaware of the premise, Robert is a highly trained government agent who is now retired, and he helps the less abled in situations that are deadly. Stands up for the little guy or girl. Now this movie is set in Italy this time, with Robert helping the residents of a small coastal town stand up to an organised crime syndicate. Robert has also notified the CIA of another crime lord he's just dealt with in the area, and the agent dealing with that is Emma Collins, played by Dakota Fanning, who's actually worked with Denzel before in 2004 Men on Fire, where she was just 10 years old. Bless her cotton socks. Now her character in this is kind of linked to the other films, but I'm not going to say how. The film was written by Richard Wake, who also wrote the other 2 Equalizer films, so it's good to have consistency in the franchise. As for further instalments, well, that's not been ruled out. There are a couple of options on the table. Either continuing with Denzel Washington if he agrees, or going down the prequel route where his son John David taking over the role. I personally would prefer Denzel doing it, but that's just me. I have seen this film. If you like the other 2, then this is not going to disappoint you. It's got a runtime of 1 hour 49 minutes. Let's take a look inside. So on the disc there is an image taken from the film itself. So that was Equalizer 3. Okay, next is Dumb Money. It's a biographical drama directed by Craig Gillespie, whose films include Lars and the Real Girl, $1 Million Arm, the 2011 Fright Night, and I, Tonya. think we can agree, a solid director. This film is about shares that were sold and repurchased on a company called GameStop. They also had a division company called MovieStop, which was founded in 2004, which I was a member of. It's an American retailer that sold movies, games, merchandise, that kind of thing. A great store. I purchased many movies from there. Anyway, digressing. This stars Paul Dano as Keith Gill. He's a YouTuber called Roaring Kitty that gives advice on stocks and shares, and he happens to recommend GameStop shares, which are being going for a low price. And this is because Gabe Plotkin, who is a founding member of Melvin Capital Management, played by Seth Rogen, he's been short selling GameStop shares in the hopes of increasing their value, not banking on Keith and his followers seeing an opening to obtain them. And this mistake cost Gabe's and his company billions in losses, but Keith and several others are made very wealthy, and everybody gets subpoenaed by the United States House Committee on Financial Services. So you could say it was a case of David and Goliath. Also stars Vincent Offerino, whatever his name is. You may remember him as the farmer who was killed at the start of Men in Black when the cockroach alien wore his skin. In addition, you've got America Ferrero from Ugly Betty and more recently Barbie, Sebastian Stan, who's the Winter Soldier, and a brilliant Clancy Brown, old Hadley from Shawshank Redemption. Great cast. It's got a runtime of 104 minutes. Let's take a look inside. So on the inside we have a plain white disc. So that was Dumb Money. Okay, next one to show you is The Great Escaper. It's a biographical drama directed by Oliver Parker. His films include Dorian Gray, the rebooted St. Trinian's 1 and 2, and Johnny English Reborn. This tells a story which hit the headlines 2014 of a pensioner called Bernard Jordan, an 89-year-old World War II naval veteran who disappeared from his nursing home to attend the D-Day memorial in France. Bernard is being played by now retired double Academy Award winner Sir Michael Caine. God bless you, sir. The only other person who knew he was planning this trip is his wife Irene, or Rini as she's referred to in the film, who's being played by double Academy Award winner Glenda Jackson, who actually sadly passed away aged 87 on 15th of June. Her films include Touch of Class and Women in Love. Now, Bernard tried to organise a trip to France through his nursing home, but alas, he left it a little bit too long, and Rini persuades him to take the pilgrimage on his own steam. Music in this is by Craig Armstrong, who films include The Bone Collector, Love Actually, World Trade Center, and 2013's Great Gatsby, and many, many others as well. Now, can you remember when Hollywood used to release films with similar topics close to each other? You had Armageddon and Deep Impact, and you also had Volcano and Dante's Peak. Same thing is happening here with this film. There's another one out called The Last Rifleman, which stars Pierce Brosnan. He's playing a war veteran called Artie Crawford, attends a D-Day memorial after escaping his nursing home. It is also based on Bernard's story, and you can see that through Sky Cinema at the moment. It's got a runtime of 97 minutes. Let's take a look inside. So the slipcover and the cover have the same image. There is a plain blue disc and a double eco case, but that's fine as long as the film gets a release. I'm happy. So that was The Great Escaper. Okay, next one to show you is a comedy drama. This one is set in 1967, the year before I was born. It's called The Miracle Club, and it's directed by Thaddeus O'Sullivan. His films include Stellar Days, Ordinary Decent Criminal, and Nothing Personal. Now this sees Laura Linney's character Chrissy return home to the town of Ballygar in Ireland after being away for 40 years, and she's there for her mother Maureen's funeral. Maureen's two other friends are there. They're not exactly pleased to see Chrissy return, as they have these unresolved issues between them all. Her old friends are Eileen, being played by Kathy Bates, and Lily, being played by Maggie Smith. So you've got three fantastic actors right there. But there's also a new character to the group, Dolly. She's not been around long. She hasn't a clue what's transpired between these women. Dolly's being played by Agnes O'Casey, who you may know from the TV miniseries Ridley Road, where she played Vivian. Anyway, there's a talent contest going on, being held at the church, and tickets, if you win them, are for Lourdes in France, which is apparently a place of miracles. First reported miracle was there on the 11th of February 1858. If you believe in that kind of thing, good on you if you do. It's good to have a belief system. All four women have things that they need divine intervention with. Eileen has found a lump on her breast. Lily has health issues with her legs, as well as dealing with the loss of her son, which is linked with Chrissy. I won't say any more than that. Agnes's son is mute, so she wants that sorted out. The ladies, they all win tickets and they go on their pilgrimage. And obviously the issues between them are all addressed. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, the husbands are left with only concerns of their stomach and who's going to clean up after them. Anyway, this one's got a runtime of 95 minutes. Let's take a look inside. So the front cover image has been put onto the disc. So that was The Miracle Club. Okay, next is The Old Oak. This is a drama from this year, directed by Ken Loach. Now, the 87-year-old director's films include Kess, The Wind That Shakes the Barley, I, Daniel Blake, and many, many more. Can go on forever. It's a story of community and acceptance. It's set in County Durham, which is a top east of England, and it's what was once a bustling mining community. Now it's got mass unemployment and very few opportunities. In this film, it focused on a pub landlord called TJ Ballantyne, who's being played by Dave Turner, and his pub, The Old Oak, which is the last pub still open and operating in the area. But it's more than just a pub, it's more of a meeting place for the locals to catch up on. And all this is thrown into turmoil when the government placed a large amount of Syrian refugees in the area, much to the annoyance of the already spirit-broken and bitter residents. But TJ sparks up a friendship with a refugee called Yara, who is a keen photographer. Yara is being played by Elba Mary in her first acting role. Now, obviously, there are similarities between the refugees who've lost everything that they own and the residents of County Durham who feel they're in a similar position, living in the area which was once, it was a shell of its former self. But that doesn't stop the animosity they impose on their new arrivals. Will it all work out? Well, it's a Ken Loach film, so I doubt it very much. Haven't seen this one yet. This is an impulse purchase which I picked up this morning. It's got a runtime 113 minutes. Let's take a look inside. So the slipcover and the cover have the same image, and that image from the back cover has been put onto the disc. So that was The Old Oak. Okay, next and last is a Criterion release. It's Pinocchio, directed by Guillermo del Toro, whose films include The Shape of Water, Nightmare Alley, Hellboy 1 and 2, Devil's Backbone, Pan's Labyrinth, many, many films. Fantastic director. Actually, I've got to point out, this is considered by Guillermo to be the third in the trilogy with Backbone and Labyrinth included. Think of that what you will. Either way, he's a fantastic filmmaker. Here we have a very different take on the Pinocchio story. It's a stop-motion animated film set between World War I and World War II in fascist Italy. Pinocchio is carved from pine wood, which is grown at the grave of Carlo, which is Geppetto's son. I didn't see that in the Disney animated classic, did you? To be fair, there have been a lot of adaptations of this story. The original story is very dark. He's carved from a talking log who, when shaped into a boy, kills the cricket and with a mallet, and that cricket becomes, or the ghost of it, becomes his inner voice. Pinocchio's actions get Geppetto imprisoned. Pinocchio's feet get burnt off when he sleeps too close to a fire. There's a green fisherman who tries to eat him. Let's just say it's a grim story. Anyway, I'm digressing. Pinocchio, he's a grief-stricken parent who one drunken night creates the wooden figure of Pinocchio. Geppetto is actually voiced by David Bradley, whose films include Harry Potter, Hot Fuzz, World's End and Harry Brown. And Pinocchio is voiced by 15-year-old Gregory Mann, whose other roles include Victoria the TV show and the Guernsey Literary Potato Peel Pie Society. So, the original story is very dark, as we established. This is no different. Pinocchio is recruited into a military training camp where a fellow recruit is told to shoot him. This is all orchestrated by Podesta, who is a fascist government official voiced by Ron Perlman, when he sees that Pinocchio is immortal and he would make the perfect soldier. Count Volpe, who is voiced by Christopher Waltz, he tries to burn him alive. You would think that Guillermo wasn't a fan of the Disney animated classic, but you would actually be mistaken. He loved the animated classic, and he wanted this to be so different. He wanted it not to be a recreation of the masterpiece, he wanted it to be very far removed. Achieved. This has got a runtime 116 minutes. Let's take a look inside. There is a 32-page booklet which has concept art and behind-the-scene information. And on the disc, there is a close-up of Pinocchio, which is taken from the front cover image. So that was Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. So that was it. Have you seen any of those films? Plan to pick them up or just want to leave a comment? And do so down below. I will read every single one and try to reply if I have the time. Give the video a thumbs up. Really does help the channel. And subscribe if you haven't. It's all free. Why wouldn't you? On that note, all I have to say is thank you so much for choosing my channel today and watching my video. Take care. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.